Hey everyone, and welcome to today's Explainer. So tell me, does your brain ever feel like a radio that's just stuck between stations? Full of static, noise, and everyday stress? If that sounds familiar, you are absolutely going to love today's topic. We are imparting and decoding the exact philosophy and mechanics of meditation, just as they are laid out in Ryuho Okawa's incredibly comprehensive source text, The Secret of Meditation. We're going to break down the literal physics of the mind presented in this book and turn these really deep concepts into clear, actionable takeaways. Okay, let's dive into this. Here's our roadmap for today. We'll be looking at 1. The essence of meditation. 2. Core posture and breathing. 3. 3 types of meditation. And finally, 4. 3 life-changing effects. All right, starting right off with section 1, the essence of meditation. Now, I really want you to prepare to rethink everything you might assume about just sitting quietly. The text asks us to view this practice not just as a quick relaxation technique to blow off steam, but as a profound structural shift in how your mind actually operates. According to the foundational definition provided directly by the author, meditation is the act of tuning the mind's wavelength to the frequencies of the real world. Now, in the context of this book, the real world refers to the original spiritual realm, this perfectly harmonious world beyond our physical one. Notice the word wavelength here. It's so crucial. The text treats meditation almost like the physics of the mind. So think of it less like zoning out and more as a mechanical process of frequency alignment. To really grasp why we need to tune our minds in the first place, the book sets up this stark contrast. On one side, we have our physical 3D world. It's inherently noisy, chaotic, and just filled to the brim with worldly worries. On the other side is the real world, that spiritual realm we just talked about, characterized by ultimate peace and harmony. The whole goal of the practice is to bridge this gap, letting us escape our daily chaos and anchor ourselves in that profound harmony. And this is where the author leans heavily into this brilliant radio metaphor. The human mind actually functions as both a broadcasting tower and a receiving antenna. Think about that for a second. Throughout your day in the 3D world, you are constantly receiving chaotic signals, like picking up everyone else's stress when you're stuck in traffic. And you're broadcasting your own anxious frequencies right back out. Meditation, therefore, is simply the deliberate act of reaching out and adjusting your mind's dial to catch the right harmonious frequency. Moving right along to section 2, core posture and breathing. Well, before the mind can be tuned, the physical body has to be prepared, right? You can't tune a broken radio. First up, straighten the spine. This creates a really clear physical channel. Second, exhale slowly from the mouth, completely releasing that pent-up tension. And third, inhale deeply into the tendon, which is your lower abdomen. According to the source, repeating this specific breathing cycle is vital because it quiets the body's natural chaotic rhythm. Once the physical body is brought into this state of silent stillness, the mind is finally free to adjust its wavelength. Which brings us to section 3, 3 types of meditation. So, once that physical foundation is totally set, where exactly do we direct our focus? The text actually lays this out using the rule of 3, categorizing the entire meditation spectrum based on your desired frequency. Type 1 is harmony, focused on reflection. Type 2 is purpose, focused on self-realization. And type 3 is direct communication, focused on interacting directly with the real world. Let's break these down one by one. Let's look at type 1, harmony and reflection. The book describes achieving a state of munen muso, which is basically an entirely empty mind completely free from worldly thoughts. From this super quiet state, you project your past events onto a mental movie screen behind your closed eyelids. But here's the trick. Instead of reliving the emotions of your past, you watch yourself as a third-party observer. By objectively analyzing your own actions, you actually clear the negative static from your mind's antenna. Once that mental static is completely cleared out, the text introduces type 2, purpose. Instead of looking backward at the past, this involves projecting your ideal future self onto that very same mental movie screen. The text refers to practices like the meditation of light and self-realization meditation here. It's a highly directed, intentional broadcast from your mental antenna, pushing a clear vision of future success and purpose out into the universe to align with higher frequencies. And finally, the source details types 3, direct communication. Now, this is presented as the most advanced form of the practice. According to the text, once the mind is perfectly tuned and focused, one can achieve direct interaction with the real world. The author includes experiences like astral projection in this category. We're imparting this strictly as the text frames it, of course, as the ultimate level of spiritual interaction where the practitioner's consciousness temporarily transcends the 3D physical body to experience the spiritual realm directly. All right, on to our final section. Section 4. 3 life-changing effects. So what is the ultimate payoff from mastering these specific wavelengths and putting in all this daily mental work? Well, the crucial point boils down to 3 profound benefits, exactly as the text promises them. First, the practice removes worldly worries and anxieties by completely disconnecting you from that 3D chaos. Second, it brings a profound sense of true happiness. The text actually categorizes this as feeling God's light, leading to states of minor and even major ecstasy. And third, and perhaps most practically for our daily lives, it allows you to regain subjective control over your life, rather than just being passively pushed around by external circumstances. The imagery chosen for the sourcebook's cover, the flowing, pristine water and the sparkling divine light, perfectly mirrors the ultimate goal of the practice. It's all about washing away the anxiety of the modern world and bathing the mind in the serenity, true happiness, and light of the real world. It is quite literally a visual representation of a perfectly tuned mental frequency. To really lock in everything we've learned today, I want to highlight this absolutely crucial quote derived from the concepts in the text, "Change your viewpoint to look at yourself from the real world." According to the book, this right here is the ultimate power of meditation. It's the ability to step completely outside of negative, earthly influences. Because when you can view your 3D life from the peaceful, objective vantage point of the spiritual realm, you fundamentally regain control over your own narrative. It stops you from being a mere passenger in your own life. Which leaves us with a final thought to ponder. Your mind is an incredibly powerful antenna, and it is constantly broadcasting and receiving. Based on the mechanics we've explored from the text today, that dial is entirely in your hands. So I'll leave you with this question. What wavelength will your mind tune into today? Thank you so much for learning with me in this explainer. I highly encourage you to keep observing your own mental frequencies out there. Keep learning, stay focused, and I'll catch you next time.